My name is Polly Jackson, and I escaped slavery using the Underground Railroad. I eventually landed north in a town called Africa, Ohio. Initially, it was called East Orange, Ohio. Former slaves were offered the option to continue north or stay in Africa. I chose to stay, take on land provided to me to farm, and build my life in the town. As I started my new life, I decided to help runaways who made their way north. When I saw them traveling through my property, I did everything necessary to ensure their escape. Most of the time, travel activity came at night, and the slave catcher sometimes pretended to help runaways, but tricked and captured them instead. I decided to fool some of these catchers by wearing different clothing than usual. I dressed up with a shawl to portray the look of an older woman. It was necessary to make sure that they thought I was beyond the age of working on the plantation. Underneath my clothes, I kept a kettle full of hot water and a butcher knife. If they decided to attack, I would fight them off. I used these two items as needed to protect runaways and former slaves at all times. It is important to remember that many abolitionists and runaways offered many successful paths to freedom. In New Richmond, Ohio, you can see the legacy of the spears who crossed at the Ohio River. You can also see the depth and the heritage of the journeys if you look closely. The structure that appears before you is a 3D drawing of a bridge constructed by a dance called The Crossing, When the Break Came. The colorful bridge connects the viewer with the physical and spiritual journey of Polly Jackson and others like her who fought for their freedom and the freedom of others. The bridge's height represents the idea of battling systematic racism in America today. It also represents the hope of utilizing the art of dance and augmented reality to showcase this hidden history and the history of African American people more publicly. Both tools exemplify the future of how people can use this combined method to contemplate and influence changing the narrative of the continued oppression and repression caused by slavery in this country. It is a way to show how the fight for systematic change is still ongoing, and that fight is now above ground instead of below.